Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Grit, Grace, and Growth, the podcast where we explore personal development, entrepreneurship, and living our best lives. I'm your host, Laura Navaquain, and today we are diving back into the world of real estate. Specifically, we'll be discussing the importance of building your team. So, whether you're investing locally or out of state, having a reliable team to support you is crucial to your success. In this episode, we'll talk about the key members you will need as a part of your team and why their role is so important. So let's get started. First, let's talk about a mentor. Well, every successful investor should probably have a mentor. Maybe they've hired them, or maybe not. Maybe it's somebody they've met and have leaned on through the years. But having a mentor is so beneficial. A mentor is somebody who's walked the path before you and can offer valuable insights, guidance, and advice. They help you avoid common pitfalls and accelerate your learning curve. So, finding the right mentor can make a significant difference in your investing journey and really anything that you do, even non real estate related. But since we're on the topic of real estate, help you make a significant difference on your real estate journey. And also just be sure it's somebody that you connect with, that you can, you don't feel scared of. You can listen to their stories, you learn from them, you connect with them, you can laugh and joke. It makes a world of a difference. So when I started, having a mentor was invaluable. It was a package, again, I shared with you when we went in on that weekend seminar and decided to invest in real estate. It was books and courses that were included, but it was an upgrade to get the mentor. And we sat on it. We already knew, like, what the heck, we're making a huge investment. So why not go with the mentor as well? The mentor we had, she came out for a weekend to hit the ground running with us in New Jersey. And really, she provided a wealth of wisdom, and her experience really helped us make informed decisions and give us that boost of confidence to go out and, act and say, like, hey, you already know this stuff. Let's do it now. Let's start doing it and do it more quickly, because it gave us that boost of confidence, encouragement. And so now let's discuss the next one, partner. So again, you don't always need a partner. This one, is kind of up in the air. I feel like it makes things a little more fun sometimes, maybe sometimes a little bit more of a headache. Who knows? It depends on the circumstance and, who you're partnering with. But, working with somebody else can be so beneficial. You don't necessarily need a partner, but again, scaling your business can make it a lot easier. And also, not just having a partner financially to help out in scaling the business, but also relying on each other's weaknesses and strengths. Everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. So being able to rely on a partner helps you be able to be stronger and build quicker, faster, and stronger. So a partner, again, as I mentioned, can bring you those complementary skills, share responsibilities, tasks, and that to-do list, and provide additional resources. So working together, you can achieve so much more than you possibly could have achieved on your own. In my experience, having a reliable partner has allowed us to take on larger projects and expand. My husband and us working together, we rely on one another for the weaknesses and strengths. We take on different tasks, so it's not all relying on one person. Sometimes, he'll take a little more of something where I take vice versa. And right now, I'm leading with certain projects. So having a partner can be so beneficial as well. Now, let's move on to the role of a realtor. This one, again, could be, controversial as to whether you need to work with a realtor being an investor. And, maybe you're not buying from the MLS, so you don't necessarily need a realtor to get you access to properties, depending which ones. Sometimes, certain ones you still need a realtor to get you in, especially if you're buying from the MLS. However, you're normally not buying from the MLS. The whole point is to get your numbers to work better by buying off market. However, having a real estate agent on your team, they best understand the market. So while you may not be directly buying from them, they can still help you out significantly when working together, but you got to find the right one. A good agent can help you sell in the market a lot quicker at higher rates as well, at higher price. So when you're flipping and you turn around, you're going to list that on market, so that you're typically listing. So you're not buying from a real estate agent, but you're selling through a real estate agent. I shared you guys in the past. So Joseph was licensed in New York. He convinced me to get licensed a couple years ago. I've let my license lapse, but he acts as the realtor there. So depending, not in every state have we held license. I haven't held a license again, but having somebody that's licensed is beneficial because then when you are selling through an agent, they're going to make the commission on that sale. And if that person is on your team, especially, in your household, like your spouse, then you're making that income internally as well when you turn around and flip it and sell it. So I found that working with a knowledgeable realtor, because we work with some realtors in Florida, we're not licensed there, makes the selling process so much easier and smoother and a lot more profitable. All right, let's take a look at a critical team member here, and that is your real estate attorney. So this one, the other ones were all so far optional to a certain extent. This one is critical. Have an attorney on your team. And this is just somebody on your team. I'm just saying somebody that's in your network that you work with on a regular basis. Well, in certain states like New York and several states in the Northeast, you need a real estate attorney to close. You don't close through a title company, so that you actually need them to close. But aside from that, no matter where you are, even if you're closing through a title company, having a real estate attorney on your team can save you boatloads of money down the end by protecting yourself. So don't try to save money by cutting this member from your team. A real estate attorney ensures that all legal aspects of your transactions are handled correctly. And then also having an attorney has saved us from potential legal issues and ensured that our transactions work seamlessly and that we are, dotting all the I's and crossing the T's or whatever that saying is, to making sure that you're protected there and you're following in line. For those who don't want to actively manage their properties, a property manager is essential. Some people just start out from the beginning for building their rental portfolio and they know that they do not want to act as the property manager. So they'll hire this out right away. Whereas others will start off by being the property manager as well. But as you continue to scale, maybe your life just changes and you no longer want to handle this task. But as you scale, eventually becomes just overwhelming and you most likely then want to hire out a property manager. Where this is even more essential is if you are investing out of state, so not in your own backyard, or your own backyard is like within a certain mile radius within where you live. But even then, sometimes you might be investing a couple hours away, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours away, so you're still able to drive up to those areas and manage them if you would like to, because it's not 3 states away, which you still can. But again, as you're scaling, eventually you maybe don't want to do that any longer because it's so time consuming or the extra headache. But again, digress. Going back to if you are an out of state investor or have properties out of state like we do, so definitely managing or having a property manager be in place for those properties where you are not near is almost essential. You can't manage those properties in a couple states away than where you live. But regardless, so whether you're an out-of-state investor or even investing within your own state, having a property manager handles all those day-to-day tasks and operations of your rental properties. So this includes your tenant management, maintenance, rent collection, payments of the bills and the utilities. And this allows you to continue focusing on growing your business instead of getting bogged down with those details. Or, if you want the time, maybe you just want to be out on the day with your family on the beach, that you have this taken care of. In our real estate journey, having a reliable property manager has been game changer, especially as we started to scale, but even then beforehand needing them when we are living in a different state. So they ensure that our properties are well maintained, that tenants and for short-term rentals that renters are able to get in and pass the lockbox, or that if there's an internet connection or just anything of that sort, that tenants are taken care of and are happy. Next, we have a loan officer, and this is for sure someone you need on your team. A good loan officer helps you secure the financing for your investments. So again, not every purchase or contract that you land for a property is going to be through the traditional route, through a loan, because even if you're doing hard money loans, that's still a loan, but it's not through the traditional route. So again, that's a different way. But if you make perhaps some of them, you are going through the traditional route of getting a loan, or especially if you refinance in the bank later on, then, that still brings you back to a loan officer. So them understanding the intricacies of real estate loans and can find you the best rates and the terms that you need, especially for those refinances. So building a relationship with a knowledgeable loan officer is crucial for having success in investing. And especially when you have the same person in your team, you know that you can rely on them on a regular basis. They're doing the best for you and giving you the best rates and information and the best terms because they know that you're satisfied, content, and happy, and you're going to continue bringing them business. So it's, win-win situation, and having that reliable person you can go to and trust for the latest market information and whatnot. And so our loan officer, we use a few, but our loan officer, one of them in particular, has been instrumental in helping us finance in those refinances when you're doing the BRRRR method and helping you grow, helping us grow our portfolio. So now let's not forget about contractors. Okay. So some people on one hand, we go through two extremes with this. Some forget about the contractors like all the time, and others like know that that's a must within the list of team members. But contractors, having a reliable network of contractors for various different things. So your contractor team consists of a few people: the floor person, drywall, electrician, HVAC, plumbing, but having your team of contractors, and especially if you invest in various different areas, so different states, different regions, then you want a team of contractors in each of those areas, each of those states. But having a reliable team is essential for rehabbing properties, but not even just rehabbing like a full gut renovation, but even going in and having something as simple as having like a maintenance person on hand that does like a general contractor that does a little bit of everything. So like holes in the wall, you need some patching, some painting, new carpets, whatever it may be. But again, they are essential, and you want a team that you can trust, that they are on time, they perform work timely, they stay on budget or really close to budget, that they are not trying to, scam you or add in additional cost or increase the cost of supplies, but they should be a regular team member of yours. So especially if you're investing in multiple markets, you want a team of this team in each of those markets. So our go-to contractors have been essential in helping us transform properties by adding value. We've done a lot of, every property has needed work, from really extreme to some minor stuff like paint, carpet, new linoleum and stuff like that. But having them is essential. Another key player is your accountant. As your business grows, balancing your books becomes complex. And I just had an amazing call this morning with Don Scott, a licensed CPA. But really, the sooner the better. Getting a licensed CPA can help you with write-offs, tax savings, financial planning, and so much more. And this is essential in any business. And if you go listen to that episode with Dawn Scott, she'll go into far more detail with you as far as even when you should really start looking at hiring a CPA. I know and understand that when you're starting a business, you are bootstrapped. Money is tight, but hiring a CPA more often than not can save you, can balance you out and you come out even, or save you far more in what you owe by investing in a CPA. Again, if you listen to that episode, so much information, so I don't want to like go into it and spill it all here. But again, having the right CPA for your business, there are some CPAs that can help and are pretty general, that can help with multiple different types of businesses. But let me take this back from a lesson learned ourselves. For real estate investing, get yourself a CPA that knows real estate investing like the back of their hand. So yes, all CPAs might know a little bit of it, maybe 1031 exchange and, having an extra rental or a second house type of thing, as Dawn would allude to in that episode. However, having a CPA that knows real estate investing like the back of their hand and specializes in real estate is essential. Last year, we moved to a CPA that does just that. And, the difference has been, I don't even know, it's significant. So they ensure that your finances are in order and help you maximize on your profits and savings. Having a skilled accountant on our team has provided us also not just the savings. Like at first I kept looking at it as a cost and what it costs to hire them, but the savings had been like tenfold. So I'm like, okay, why didn't we do this so much sooner? So there's that aspect of it, but also the piece of Like wanting to do your own taxes, like no one wants to do taxes. Like, come on, let's be realistic. I don't want to do taxes, period, but I don't want to do them myself. And the headache that would weigh over me trying to balance the books and do our own taxes, being able to hand that over has, been a huge relief, a significant relief. All right, guys, let's dive into the importance of an insurance agent. This one, I kind of take a little bit of the backseat because if anyone knows my background prior to, going full time into entrepreneurship, I came from insurance for the most part, group insurance, so health employee benefit insurance. But also, I had my PNC. I still hold my licenses, my PNC license, so can do the insurance on our own properties, or at least have enough. I don't do it on all of them. Having the conversations with the agents and having the knowledge behind it, so knowing what coverages we need, at what limits, and having those agents that are for the most part your go-to. It varies state by state because not all coverages or all carriers are options in all states also. And then also insurance premiums vary significantly by state. So like in New York for a property, it could be $1,000 a year, where a same size property in Florida, just because of hurricanes and so far, like the cheapest you can get is like $6,000 a year. So, those are also things that can take into consideration, but having a licensed and a knowledgeable insurance agent on your team can help save you and protect you adequately and save you from potential risks. Also, having supportive family and friends, they play a significant role in your success. You don't want somebody coming in and, telling you about all the things that can go wrong, why you shouldn't do something, why it will never work out, how they told you so, or whatever it may be. So, having a supportive circle of family and friends can provide you with emotional encouragement and practical help. However, if you deem that inner circle is maybe not the most supportive, perhaps don't share the news with them right away as far as what you're doing. You can always go back to them later on and say like, hey, this is what I did. By then you already did it and they're probably wondering how you did it. But ultimately our friends and family have been a tremendous support system to us. But then also on the other hand, we don't necessarily go around boasting about our real estate business, if you will, because it's just not necessarily what we do. It's just more recent that we've been sharing with people openly. Finally, let's talk about a handyman. All right, guys, a handyman is valuable to the small day-to-day tasks that you need for your short-term and long-term rentals, because short-term, again, I mentioned before, this is like falls in between like the property manager, when your tenants can't get in because the keypad isn't working. So that's like your property manager, but then you have somebody in and the shower rod is broken or something. So you need something fixed, but you live out of state. So your handyman can get over there and like fix something, or like the rail on the sliding door isn't working right. That's your handyman that can go over and repair that for you. But having a good, reliable handyman on team that can save you money, can save you time, and just kind of keep you making sure you're getting good reviews, especially for the short term rental, keeping properties well maintained. And so that handyman can also like fall on like a landscaper. So, depending, are you in an HOA where landscaping is included in your HOA cost? Is it a condo or something else like where you have HOA fees, so you don't necessarily have to worry about landscaping and those other things that need to be taken care of? Or is it a house where an HOA is not included? And which I don't like HOAs. I'd prefer not to have an HOA. That's my own personal opinion. But if you don't have an HOA, then you need somebody doing your lawn and landscaping of that particular property. So making sure you have, so handyman slash landscaper, having them on your team to making sure that your properties are well maintained and kept up. All right, guys. So here's a recap for today's episode. Key team members that you should have on your real estate investor team. One, a mentor. They offer guidance and accelerate your learning by learning from their mistakes and giving you advice from having done it themselves already. Two, a partner. This helps you scale your business and also share responsibilities and being able to lean on one another and on each other for, your strengths and weaknesses. Three, a realtor. So again, they assist you with listings. So access to listings if you're looking on MLS, which I don't necessarily recommend you go that way. I'm a big advocate of off-market properties, but when you're selling your property, you always want to sell through a realtor and sell it at market. Real estate attorney ensures that your legal aspects are handled correctly, and that you're taken care of and protected there. 5, a property manager. They manage your day to day of operations, rental of your rental properties, rent collections, and so forth. 6, a loan officer, securing financing for your investment. So whether you're going the traditional route and getting financing to purchase the property, or you're refinancing it after you've done the renovations and you're going the BRRRR method or some other methods that where we utilize refinancing. 7, contractors. You're reliable for rehabbing, renovations, any repairs, like more than a handyman would do. The contractors that you need to go to, and the ones that general, contractor, electrician, HVAC, all those that you should have on your team, flooring and so forth. Number 8, accountant. So they are who manages your finances, maximizes your profits, reduces your tax liability and so forth. So beneficial. 9, an insurance agent. You always need to make sure you have the proper coverage in place. And of course, you want it at the best rate. 10, a supportive family and friends within your circle, or just kind of keep what you're doing to yourself until you did it. And 11, a handyman and landscaper who handles the minor repairs and the maintenance of your property. Overall, building a solid team is crucial for real estate investing success. Ask yourself if your team members have met deadlines regularly. Do they respond timely, and are they reliable? Having a dependable team can make the world of a difference in achieving your investment goals. You definitely don't want to be over on budgets on rehabs because your contractors are not showing up on time or whatever it may be. So again, a reliable, trustworthy team. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today on today's episode of Grit, Grace, and Growth. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you have, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with somebody else that you think will benefit. If you have any stories and tips about building your real estate team, reach out to me and join me on social media or through my website at lauranavaquin.com. I would love to hear from you. Keep striving, stay courageous, and remember, you've got this.